Continuing where we left off, now we're going to add a tagline to our title page for our proposal, and in doing so we will learn about the font dialog box. So we're going to pick up on page Word 240 near the bottom of the page, actually more like on page Word 241 at the top. First thing you want to do is make sure that your insertion pointer is here on by the paragraph mark to the right of the Smart Art graphic we just added, and go ahead and hit enter to move it down to a new line. Now we're on this new line. We're going to go ahead and type in the tagline. It says, "Join us for this great cause!" Exclamation point. Alright, there's our tagline. Now we're going to make this look fancy and stand out with the rest of our title page. So to do this, we're going to go ahead and select the sentence we just typed. Do that by clicking and dragging through it. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to launch the font dialog box. And to do that, that's this little button here in the right corner of the font section of the Home tab. Click that, and now we have all of the options that we can do with our fonts here in the font dialog box. Okay, the first thing that we're going to want to do is change our text to bold italic. You see that right here on the font style. So click bold italic. You see the preview down here changes. So the preview is going to show you what your font's going to look like when you're done. Okay, the next thing we want to do is make the size 48. So we can scroll down here, select 48. Another thing you can do is just type it in right there, and it'll select it also. Okay, and then we're going to make the color we've been using throughout this title page, the pink accent 2, darker 25. So go ahead and select that color. You can see in the preview now it's changed to that color. And now we want to add a shadow effect to it. Click that and you can see it shows a little shadow behind it, kind of giving it that appearance of it standing out of the page. Okay, the next thing we want to do now is we want to set the character spacing. We're going to kind of space things out in between each of the individual characters. So to do that, we click the character spacing tab here at the top of the font dialog box. Now in the spacing box, we click the arrow here. We're going to select expanded. So we're going to add some space between our characters. And we're going to add 5 points of space between each character. So you can come over here and hit the up button. You may hold it down for a little while, and we're going to run that up to 5. You can see as we do that, the space between the characters expands out. Okay. Now we can hit OK, and that's using the font dialog box to change the selected text. Now we're not done yet. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to change the case of the text, and we're doing that simply by using the change case option here on the font box. Click that and you have your different options you can select. We're going to make all of the text uppercase. So we're going to then select uppercase from here, and you can see it changes every letter in that sentence to uppercase. And now we press the end key. That moves us to the end of our paragraph and unselects the text that we had. And that's how you use the font dialog box and how you change the case for your sentence. One last thing before we move on to the next part of this lesson, we're going to go ahead and zoom in to one page so we can see our whole page without having any of it cut off or having to scroll up or down to see it. To do that, we are going to click on the view button, and you can see there's the one page here on the zoom. Click that, and now you get to see what your page looks like, all fitting right there on the screen.